Hello YouTube, this is Morgan, Airspeed Prime here with my next Avatar news update video. So, the Avatar New York Comic Con 2024 panel has just come to an end. I'm recording this about 20 minutes after it has ended. And yes, there is one piece of news, but so far there's only one piece of news because there is literally only, from what I can see, 2 tweets on like the entire internet about stuff that actually happened in the panel. I get it's very soon after the panel, but there was no official coverage. For the most part, there wasn't really any fan coverage during the panel, and so we have no clue what was said throughout most of the panel, given that it was a pretty packed lineup where we had 6 panelists covering all the different publishers, and apparently the one expected announcement is the only announcement. And I don't know if that's the case because I just don't know what happened at the rest of the panel. So I'm covering what I have here. Maybe there'll be more to cover tomorrow because it's pretty late here at the moment. Maybe there'll be more to cover tomorrow when they finally officially post stuff. But let's get into it here. So after basically waiting through the entire panel, again, usually I think the situation here is cell coverage in the panel rooms is pretty bad at New York Comic Con. So we had to wait until right at the end to hear about this. But thanks to Morgan Ross at Movie Flame Productions, here we did get the reveal of the new Avatar One-shot comic. So you can see it here. We'll just open it up. It's Avatar: The Last Airbender, Ashes of the Academy. As you can see from the cover, Zuko, Mai, and Kiyi on the cover. So really interesting. A much bigger comic, I suppose, than I expected. This is definitely more in line with, I think, the kind of Azula in the Spirit Temple kind of angle on things of like, it seems like it's advancing the story, at least to a certain degree. By the sounds of things, it looks like it's going to be sort of a Kiyi one-shot as like the focus character with support kind of from Zuko and Mai. So we'll see how exactly that goes here. But you can see here, they're saying that the release date, at least initially, tentatively, is March 25th / 26th, 2025, which makes sense from a production standpoint because of, you know, the Juniro comic was good to go like pretty early last year, so we're an entire year kind of on, plus going into this one. They'll have the book done by here. It's pretty much just about if Dark Horse have a lot of the other stuff, the logistics, printing, shipping, scheduling, that sort of stuff in place. That will be what delays this book, not art problems, because the creative team of this has been the creative team for a while now. Faith Aaron Hicks, Peter Wortman, Adele Matera, Jimmy Betancourt. They're solid. They get the books done on time pretty much, and they're saying it'll be available for pre-order starting today, tomorrow. So we're assuming the listings where we get like a high quality image will go up soon-ish. What the tweet says here, first look at the Avatar comic series that will drop in March. It will focus on Zuko's younger sister Kiyi going to the same Fire Nation Academy that Mai, Ty Lee, and Azula went to. So the Royal Fire Academy for girls. And then the title comes into play, Ashes of the Academy. So I guess we're going to see now if the Academy is going to change its approach now that the Fire Nation is going down a different path under Zuko. Because, of course, he's going to have to change some stuff about how certain parts of history are taught in schools, but is he going to do a complete overhaul? Because we know that he does stuff like, for instance, he's going to add the dancing dragon kind of a little bit into kind of the curriculum to kind of bring back, you know, true kind of original firebending to the nation and other little bits and pieces from the lore that we have about what he goes on to do. But other than that, it's kind of like, okay, this is interesting. Giving Kiyi some spotlight with, I'm guessing, the backdrop story sort of being, I guess, Zuko and Mai roughly getting back together, because again, House Smoke and Shadow, which was the last time these two interacted, ended. It was pretty positive towards the idea of like this relationship is going to happen in the future, and I'm wondering if that's kind of what we're going to end up with here. Will we finally see, for the first time in so many years, Zuko and Mai back together again? Because I'm assuming they want to sort out some of these open comic plot threads ahead of Avatar Studios content. Do they really want us going into that stuff worried about, well, May's not going to be in this because technically Zuko broke up in a comic that is set like 8 years before this movie is set. Some awkward stuff there. So I'm assuming May is here because they're going to do stuff like that. How many of the other characters are going to be involved here? Obviously, we don't expect Azula to be in here. Maybe a flashback here through May. Ty Lee could be here, but obviously she's a Koshi warrior, and we know she was busy in Azula in the Spirit Temple dealing with Azula, so maybe this is what May and the other characters are doing while that comic is going on. So exciting stuff for sure, though. The only other tweet I could find about anything happening in the panel, this person didn't post any details, but again, confirming that the panelists were in fact Joan Hilty, James Mendez-Hodez from Magpie Games, Ethan LeBlanc from Webtoons, Randy Rabai, Abrams, Roku Novels, and Rachel Silverstein, who they do list as being part of Patterns in Time. But again, what did any of these people talk about? I don't know, because the only announcement that we know of is the new comic, which was obviously done by the Dark Horse moderator, Cara O'Neill. Whereas I guess Joan Hilty might be able to talk about this, but the other panelists wouldn't necessarily know about this. So again, the question comes up, like, was Rachel Silverstein really just there because she did the 4-page comic like a few years ago? Very, very confusing stuff. And then the final thing I'll mention in the video here, I'll probably do an edit just to check if there's been anything in the last couple of minutes, but I did search the new comic out, and I found this Penguin Random House kind of sales catalog listing that apparently has just gone up, and it does list this comic in it. So you can see here, graphic novels, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Ashes of the Academy. This is zoomed in 200%, so the image is very small on the page there as well. Standard creative team stuff, but we do get a bit of a description here. An all new standalone Avatar graphic novel, Kiyi, half-sister to Fire Lord Zuko, enrolls at the Royal Fire Academy for Girls, known for its strict curriculum and even stricter instructors. Zuko worries for Kiyi. So that definitely highlights that, okay, it's a Kiyi-focused book. That's what we're going to get, I guess, stuff from her perspective. Again, remember from the end of Smoke and Shadow, she is a firebender, so I guess we're going to see some firebending instruction kind of happen here. Who is is it going to be a new character as the instructor here, someone that we already know? And then how does this work regard to, again, Zuko, I guess, having some sense of oversight over what happens at the academy, or like overall big changes, given that we're in a post-war kind of environment here. I assume there'll be a little bit of like Ursa and Nora and Ikem in this as well. So kind of exciting stuff here overall, but that's interesting. Again, it does list the date here as March 25th as well, but that's for the most part all there really is to say right now about this announcement. It's cool, but it's also a case of, why do I have to do so much work to find the news from the big Avatar panel at New York Comic Con? It's a little bit weird. So I'm going to do a cut here just to see if anything has happened since I started recording this video. Yeah, I had a quick look. It doesn't seem like they've posted it yet. Based on previous years, it seems to take them, for whatever reason, a couple of hours to actually post the announcement. I would expect that probably at some point in the next couple of hours tomorrow, we probably will have a high quality image of the cover, so we can see it a little bit clearer. Though I think the picture here is pretty clear. We can tell what's going on here. It's not super obscured or anything like that. It's not the worst convention picture we've ever had. It's actually pretty good. So yeah, it's the big main exciting announcement I think we all expected, but I hate how unclear the information is, because Cara O'Neill teased that there would be news at the panel, and while that's technically true with even just the one piece of news, I'm guessing maybe something else happened. Again, how familiar with all the publishing stuff are the people who posted about this stuff? Like, for instance, Magpie, did they talk about a new book? Would certain people specifically know it was new or not, you know, we don't actually know for sure. And lots of other stuff like that. Like they might have said stuff in talking that makes other stuff kind of clear. Because they might have mentioned some stuff about like maybe Rachel Silverstein is involved in something, but they only did it like verbally and they maybe didn't have a visual. So it wasn't a massive announcement, but they might have said something. We just don't know. So in the comments, let me know what your thoughts are on the newly announced Avatar comic, Avatar The Last Airbender, Ashes of the Academy. What are your thoughts on this? Kiyi focused, but Zuko and Mai covered here. But like we addressed here with the other information I found, Mai not really mentioned in the description, so it's kind of like, what's going on there? What are we actually going to do? That's kind of exciting. So I'm happy with the announcement, but I do want to know if anything else was said at the rest of the panel, and it's a bit frustrating and awkward that I think the official accounts don't bother to post this stuff in a reasonable time. But yeah, let me know your thoughts below, but that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.